LPT. Understand how attractiveness works. I've noticed this with acne. When I have acne, I feel hideous and think everyone must be so disgusted with my face. But when I see acne on other people's faces, I barely notice it. Same with freckles. Freckles are the perfect example. Every single time I have ever heard of someone disliking freckles, it's their own freckles. On top of this, it's important to understand that you spend more time with you than anyone, and you are the only person in your head. You will know very many of your flaws. No one else will. And at the same time, everyone else is like that too. They see their own flaws, but not everyone else's. If you try to compare all your known flaws to someone else whose flaws you don't see, you're going to feel wicked bad about yourself. You do not have the information to make that comparison fairly. Everyone has all of their own flaws and struggles. It's not just you. And you probably aren't terrible. Thank you for this. Even though I'm in a happy relationship with a very supporting guy for 10 years, I'm going through a long period of comparing myself to absolutely everyone I come across. And in my mind, everyone has some feature that makes them more attractive than me. My self-confidence has hit the bottom, and I'm struggling to love myself again. Ops post and your comment has struck a nerve, and I'm hoping it's a small step to changing my mentality around attraction and self-esteem. Enjoy the gold, and know that your comment helped lift up the spirit of a stranger across the globe. Thank you. In an LTR for me, as a guy, emotional attraction becomes a very real thing. Emotional closeness seems to naturally invigorate. UHH. Things. Yeah, awkward. Also a guy, I've been getting physically and emotionally closer with an old friend these last few months. It's not like I previously found her unattractive, but today something was different. I got butterflies. I've known her nearly a decade, but today I was like, wow, she's cute as hell. I can be a total stunner. Absolute 10/10ths. But I don't want anything to do with you if you're ugly on the inside. Emotional attraction will always be way hotter than big tits or a pretty face. Dang. I kind of wish it wasn't. I'm a guy whose physical package is a lot more appealing than what's inside. I'm a mess of anxiety, low self-esteem, depression and ADHD. I sometimes can get a short-term thing going based on mutual attraction and the fact that I can be funny and that I'm kind and understanding and supportive. But those aren't traits most women care about if you don't have the security and stability alongside it. Never had anything that ever looked like it could be serious though. I've started talking to a woman who is sort of amazing though, and I'm just waiting until she realizes what I'm really like and takes off. And through this process I've learned that probably the reason I can't ever fall in love is because I assume anyone I'm really interested in and could see a future with wouldn't ever want to be with someone like me. So I never make a move for fear of rejection or for fear of feeling terrible in comparison to this incredible person. Also instead I have short, unsatisfying relationships with the women who will have me because it's better than nothing. Be nice and smell nice and someone will like you. Some old lady. Be nice and smell nice and some old lady will like you. Some old lady. If 1% of the world find you attractive, that's still 70 million people. Too bad they aren't lined up, so I can choose. That number may not necessarily reflect upon your preferences. So that means I'll find 1 or 2 who will meet my unrealistic standards. Keyword. Unless the flaws are hygiene related. Can we all agree on this? I saw a comment last week about a guy preferring his girlfriend right then straight out of the shower. So you never know. Napoleon asked his wife not to wash days before he came home from a campaign. Napoleon famously sent Josephine the following erotic line from the thick of battle. Jaravines entrois jaws, northeast Tel Aviv's Pars. I will return in 3 days. Don't wash. What a Chad. Personality can alter your perception of someone's looks 180 degrees, and who wasn't that attractive at all becomes, after knowing them, the most attractive person you knew. At least in my own experience. That's true. And it also works in the other way for me. I have found tons of people physically attractive. But after getting to know them more, I would prefer to either just admire from a distance or be friends with them. Because I don't find any emotional/romantic attraction with them. I still don't know what my girlfriend sees in me. She is miles out of my league, but insists that she finds me very attractive. I've spent my whole life being told how unattractive I am. And now here's this absolutely stunning woman telling me how hot she thinks I am. So can confirm. Op is right. She's not out of your league. You are in a league together. That is a very sweet sentiment. I hate using the number system. But if I had to, she is a 10, and I'm no higher than a 2 on my best day. Your friends can probably give more accurate rating if you're interested. Maybe they can confirm that you're not out of each other's league in general. Well, in the end it doesn't matter, just be happy that you like each other. My friends have all confirmed that I'm reaching. Even my mother was skeptical about how I managed to get a woman like that to be interested in me. I have some acne scars on my face. Always been self-conscious about them. Met my girlfriend a year ago. Maybe 2 months into dating she says you got acne scars. You have bad acne. When you were younger I say yeah, and kind of slouch. She says hold on and pulls out her phone and finds a Reddit post from a while ago someone made asking what people find oddly really attractive that maybe most people wouldn't. Her comment, acne scars. As of Friday we will have been together a year. And lately we've been talking a lot about plans for our lives and future together. Never thought I'd be here. High five in the we have acne scars and don't have to give a shit club. I was so self-conscious about them till I met one of the prettiest girls I ever knew. I didn't even notice she had acne scars at first. Then it dawned on me. If I mentally just did not see them, other people could do the same. Once I realized that meant she may have shared in my pain. It honestly did make them attractive to me. Sadly we never got together though. She was honestly rude to a lot of people. And I could just never be with a person like that. But it's so nice to realize people out there either don't care or even like them. You're just the hottest fucking thing they've ever seen. I agree that there's someone for everyone, but I think this is taking it a little too far lol. The thing people gotta understand is you aren't the hottest thing ever to anyone, and a lot of people just settle. Which is fine. Doesn't mean you are worse or they can or should do better, but 90% of people don't meet enough people to get the chance to pick and choose as they please. So a lot of couples are just right place right time type things. Not some magical fairy tale Cinderella story of the one. Which, again, is fine. What matters is you are happy. You won't get that perfect partner, but if you make yourself available, you'll stumble, on pure chance, into someone who you will also settle for. It sounds terrible, but you have to think realistically. Most people are not terrible people, so you'll be fine. What makes your partner better than everyone else is they chose you, and you chose them and you're happy. That's really all that matters. For people who feel they'll be alone forever, you probably aren't going out enough. Even worse now obviously, but you just have to know more people and have more interests and hobbies. Every single day, every single time you walk outside, it's a roll of a million-sided dice. When I was younger and I was deciding classes for college, I'd sometimes feel bad because it always stuck in my mind that any one of these classes could be the one to have someone who is my future wife, and you tell your kids about how you met them in this class. Same goes for pretty much everything I did back then. Deciding not to go to the beach or even wait 1 extra hour before going. I always thought, what if that 1 hour earlier was the time I met my future wife and I missed it? But really, every single moment of your life you are out and about is just a roll of the dice. Suggesting that people settle always seems to make people furious. But literally every single relationship on earth is settling. You have not met everyone on earth, and you will never know if there's someone that's a much better match for you. Settling is saying, yep, this is good enough. I'm happy with this. I will stop looking for something better. But people somehow need to believe that they're with their soulmate and no one else could be better. There is beauty in settling. Settling means both you and someone who was at some point a complete stranger decided, individually but simultaneously, with no external force, to stop looking for someone better because you both agreed, again individually, that you were happy with each other. That to me is more beautiful than the idea of soulmates. Soulmates implies there was some external force and not your own true volition. Settling means, with full conscious and with full well knowing there may be better, you didn't care and decided that's it. I'm done. I found what I needed. It may not be the best, but it's good enough to fit the criteria of what you were looking for, and guess what? The exact same thing happened in their mind about you. What are the chances of that? That's pretty cool, if you ask me. I really love this thought. I want to be in your headspace. I feel the same way Op does, but outward rather than inward. I feel this way about people, but can't apply it to myself. I love long noses, small noses, tall girls, short girls, big boobs, small boobs, whatever. I absolutely love normal features and interesting features, or features people consider flaws in themselves or others. I'm just too negative to feel that way about myself, no matter how much people compliment me. So I feel you, dude. Just be a good person and practice talking to people, and people will like you, whether or not you think you're physically unattractive. Personalities are so fucking attractive sometimes. I married a beautiful Tolkien fan that likes my wizard nose and hobbit feet. Holy shit. My wife has a gigantic fucking honker, and she hates it. It's like a cartoon witch nose. Call me weird. Say I'm lying. I don't care. I've always had a thing for big noses, and hers looks good as hell. I love it. Attractiveness has a lot more to do with attitude than looks. A beautiful sourpuss will always be less attractive than a derpy happy one-ho. I agree with this. Except there's one big rub. They actually need to spend time with you in order to get to know you and find you attractive. In the world of dating, this is extremely difficult to do outside of friend and hobby groups. If you aren't naturally attractive, meeting someone online or in person who isn't already in one of your social circles is a serious challenge. People will basically ignore or dismiss you pretty quickly since you don't catch their eye. This so much. My friends always tell me how great person I am, and how is that I never had a girlfriend. I always tell them basically this. I agree with this. Except there's one big rub. They actually need to spend time with you in order to get to know you and find you attractive.